Good evening to everyone present with us in this valedictory ceremony and to everyone joining us on this live stream. Today is a day of immense honor as it successfully marks the conclusion of the 8th National Law University Odisha Bose and Mitra Company International Maritime Arbitration Moot 2021. Over the course of 4 days, we witnessed teams exhibiting their legal acumen and skills, which culminated into the final rounds of the competition where Government Law College Mumbai and ILS Law College Pune competed against each other, and one of them shall emerge victorious. Regardless of the results, we congratulate all the teams for their persistent efforts. Here we are today at the valedictory ceremony to draw the curtains upon this edition. And I'm honored to introduce the special guest of today's valedictory ceremony. I introduce the chief guest of today's ceremony, the retired judge of the Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justice Kurian Joseph. Justice Kurian Joseph has been among the most illustrious judges of the Supreme Court of India who upheld the law of the land and preserved the spirit of Constitution at every juncture. We thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence, and we are honored to have you as our chief guest. I would now like to introduce Mr. Amitabh Majumdar, Managing Partner of India's leading maritime firm, Bose Mitra and Company. Mr. Amitabh has been a source of inspiration for the years of hosting this Moot competition. And through his support, this Moot has become the premier maritime law Moot in the country. He was one on the arbitral panel for today's final rounds. We thank you, sir, for your presence. Introducing our next guest for tonight, Professor Simon Bogan. Mr. Simon Bogan is the Professor of Maritime Law at Swansea University. Mr. Simon was on the arbitral panel of the final round of the competition, and his presence has enriched us, and we are very thankful to you, sir, for joining us today. I would also like to introduce you to Professor Andrew Tattenborn. Professor Tattenborn is the Chair in Law of the Shipping and Trade at ISTL, Swansea University, and was also a part of arbitral panel of the final round. We thank you, sir, for joining us and being a part of this movement. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Puneet Oza. Mr. Puneet Oza is Executive Director and Registrar of Singapore Chambers of Maritime Arbitration. He was a member of arbitral panel for the final rounds, and sir, we are very grateful to you for being a part of this mood, and it was an honor to have you with us. Next, I introduce Dr. George Leludas, Assistant Professor at ISTL, Swansea University. Dr. George Leludas was a part of the arbitral panel for the final rounds, and sir has been a source of constant support throughout the competition. He drafted the case study for this edition and has helped the organizing committee to prepare the reference material to aid the judges panel. So, we are very thankful to you for agreeing to join us and being a part of our journey. We also have our Registrar of National Law University Odisha, Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh with us. We thank you, sir, for your unwavering encouragement throughout the competition. Next, I introduce Ms. Ilokya and Ms. Nikita Patta Joshi, the faculty advisors of the Moot Society at National Law University Odisha. We thank both the faculties to make this event smooth with their persistence. On behalf of entire organizing committee, I cordially welcome all the members who have joined us here today. We are truly honored to be in your presence. I would now request Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh, our registrar, to give the welcome address.
Thank you. Honorable Justice Kurian Joseph, former Judge Supreme Court of India, Professor Simon Bogan, Professor Andrew, Professor George, Mr. Amitabh Majumdar, Mr. Puneet Oza, faculty advisors Nikita Lukia, all the participants, students, members of the Moot Society, a very good evening to all of you. I feel privileged to welcome all the distinguished guests for this valedictory ceremony of 8th National Law University Odisha Bose and Mitra International Maritime Arbitration Moot 2021. I need not to reiterate why mooting is important as an essential and core ingredient of legal education. In a mooting exercise, it is important to understand the law related to the problem of the moot is dealing with. The moot court's preparation starts with extensive research, goes on to drafting, and finally comes to the oral arguments. Mooting does not merely mean defending and arguing for one's point of view. It also teaches students the basic rules that are being followed in our real courtrooms. So a moot court not only helps in enhancing legal knowledge, but also in brushing up communication, drafting, legal research, and also presentation skills. Most importantly, it increases your confidence. After presenting moots, a student get a taste of real courtroom proceedings. So the entire process is meant for a great learning exercise. Whether you win a competition or you lose, you don't get a prize, but you learn so many things. I congratulate all the winners. We do not know yet who are the winners, but I also congratulate all the participants who participated. Participation is more important. We feel honored and gratified today that Honorable Justice Kurian Joseph is in our midst today as the chief guest of the valedictory session of 8th IMAM. Second time we are conducting virtually, and this time in a more comprehensive manner, introducing a new technology, which even I found much better than what we used last year. I welcome you, sir, to this event. We are grateful that you spared time and you agreed to grace the valedictory session. I welcome Mr. Amitabh Majumdar, Managing Partner of Bose and Mitra Company, who is not only a partner in this event, but a real friend, philosopher of the university, who helped us to get this moot a new height. I welcome you, sir, to this valedictory session. Your continuous support is very significant for the university and the mooting culture which we have developed in the university. I welcome three great professors, learned professors of Swansea University, Professor Simon Boggin, Professor George, Professor Andrew, for gracing this occasion and helping our Moot Society to make this great event as a great success. I welcome Mr. Puneet Ojha, the Executive Director and Registrar of the Singapore Chambers of Maritime Arbitration, for coming forward and associating with the university and helping our Moot Society to give it a new paradigm. I welcome you, sir, and hope that this relationship continues for years to come. I welcome all the participants from different universities in the country and abroad. I welcome all the winners who made this event a success. I welcome both the faculty advisors of Moot Society, Ms. Nikita and Ms. Lukia, for helping and guiding the TMS throughout this journey. I welcome all the members of the TMS for doing this entire exercise a great work, hard work they have put in. I once again welcome all the guests, all the participants to this valedictory session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would now request our chief guest for the evening, Justice Kurian Joseph, to give the valedictory address.
Yeah, I'd ask the organizers, would you mind that I would also listen to the experience and the comments
let
of
listen
the
other speakers. Then at the end, I think sir will speak.
judges. Yeah, I just
Yes.
wanted to listen to them because I did not have the opportunity to participate in the final round. So I just want to have a feel of what the judges felt and read them under the valedictory address, right?
Sure, sure. So I would now request our drafters of the case study to address, starting with Professor Simon Goggin, to share his thoughts, especially on the case study of this edition.
Thank you very much, and I think I'm unmuted now, so you can hear me. This has been a great honour to have been judging the finals of this illustrious moot, and I had the privilege last year, again online, to be a judge, and I must say I think your new system is excellent, and it's something we will be probably looking at Swansea when we come to consider our own mooting finals, which is going to happen sometime, I think, in June. I was struck, I was struck last year, of the very high quality of advocacy from all the four participants, and I have to say it was actually rather a difficult problem. I still don't know what the right answer is, and I think, but that's not the important thing. It's how you go about trying to convince the judges as to what the answer should be, and it was a very interesting problem to do with misdelivery under a multimodal contract, with also some damage, and the question about whether the Hague rules, if they applied voluntarily, whether Article 3, Rule 8 comes in to strike out conflicting clauses. I mean, this is a problem I think we've worked on together at Swansea, and perhaps to have made it as difficult as possible. And I think we've done a pretty good job of doing it, and I think the mooters in question have done a pretty good job of responding to it. So I very much enjoyed being on the panel. Rather glad that I was on the panel rather than having to argue. Again, thank you very much for inviting me to act as that. So shall I hand over to my fellow colleague, or I'll let Sonia, I'll let you sort of do the necessary introductions.
Sure, sir. This helps. Thank you for your words, sir. I would now request Professor Tattenborn to address us.
One of the things that I am never happy about when judging a moot is actually giving an answer to the legal question, because it always seems more and more uncertain to me, as to Professor Bourne, what the true answer is. So I am extremely grateful to the organizers of this moot for not calling upon me to do so. I have been incredibly impressed with the quality of advocacy which I have seen. People have been clear from the beginning what they were going to say. They have made the point, and they carried on making the point with exemplary clarity throughout. And it seems to me that the practice of maritime law in India is or likely to be in the next few years in extremely good hands indeed. If this is in any way representative. The other feeling I have is a great pride in the unity of the common law, which we all share, and the common legal language, and our ability to understand the concepts that are used in such disparate countries as India, Singapore, England, and even some people might say the United States, which purports to speak a kind of English and equally purports to apply a kind of English law. But I am, in any case, extremely grateful to be invited to this event and extremely honored. And I can only give my thanks to the university and to the people who have organized this so brilliantly.
Thank you, sir. Now, Dr. George Leeladas has been associated with us throughout this competition. I would now request you, sir, to share a few words on your experience with our association for the event.
Thank you, Sonia, and thank you everyone for inviting me to the Moot competition. It has been my first one in India, and having to deal with the organizers for quite a while now. I would like to praise them for having a very professional organization of the Moot, not just the last 3 days of the Moot, but since we started discussing the Moot program, I have been happily surprised by the professionalism, by how punctual and how responsive they were. And certainly for the competition that we're going to do in Swansea, they taught us quite a few lessons on how to deal with the teams, how to deal with the arbitrators, and so on. So in that respect, I have full praise for the whole team. And also, I have a full praise for the finalists, because as Simon said, that was a particularly difficult problem. I was not the drafter of it. I would like to be, but I don't think I have the brains to be the drafter. It was Simon and Andrew who drafted it, and through several of our internal Moot competitions, we perfectioned it, and the teams had to address, I think, the most difficult version of it, and I believe they did extremely well. It was very clear. The submissions are very clear, and maybe if we do another Moot competition in Swansea for the years to come, maybe they want to join us for the for our Moot competition, and they will be more than welcome to join. So in that respect, I would say a huge thank you, personally from me, and I think from us, from the Swansea team, for allowing us to participate, for allowing us to draft the Moot problem, and for having such a professional and well-organized team behind the Moot. I'm impressed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now request Mr. Amit Majumdar to address the gathering.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be associated with the National Law School of Orissa. I've been associate for many years, and every year that we have this Moot, it makes me even more proud that we are hearing such excellent speakers, future lawyers, future advocates, future employees in shipping companies. They're all stepping from here. The advocacy skill that we've seen this time actually has been one of the best that we've seen so far. And it was really, really good to hear them. In fact, I've had my whole team of my office has been involved in mooting for the last 3-4 days. And they have also come back to us saying that the participants were extremely, extremely well spoken. The question was difficult. I never like a misdelivery question because the defense is very hard. But I think the participants were absolutely clear as to what they wanted to say. The questions posed by the arbitrators was answered specifically without wasting any time. And in fact, this time we finished within a good time because the mooters answered so precisely. So thank you very much. I'd like to especially thank Swansea University and Professor Bourne, Professor Tuttenborn, and Professor George for all the time and effort given. It means a lot for every single student and every single mooter that you've taken this time out and given us the time. I'd like to thank Puneet for also taking out the time from SCMA, which is one of the premier maritime arbitration center in Singapore and worldwide, and used very, very commonly for most shipping arbitrations around the world. A special thank to Justice Kurian for being here. Thank you very much. And big thank you to NLUO, and look forward to doing this again next year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I will now request our chief guest for the evening, Justice Kurian Joseph, to address us.
Thank you, Sonia. Yeah, I really wanted to listen to the gurus first. Guru in India, there's professors. You always teach us, and you always guide us. And the real meaning of a guru in India is actually the one who is in a position to remove the darkness in the minds of the disciples, and the one who is able to help the disciples to manage the unknown. These are the two meanings that we give to the word guru. So dear professors Simon, Andrew, and George, and Yogesh, and Mr. Amitabh, and Mr. Puneet, and my dear other teachers, and dear students, and of course the participants. Let me also congratulate you. So look at the high words of praise that all of you have received. And you have been scanned now in a way. Your visibility is international. As Mr. Amitabh put it, his whole team was put on job to assess you. Now there is no need for a campus recruitment. You have already been recruited. You've all been marked. Marked as an academician, marked as a lawyer, marked as a shipping company employee, whatever, what not. Yes, all your skills have been marked. And I'm sure Puneet also would have noticed somebody who would be good enough for the Singapore International Arbitrations as well. Well, congratulations to all of you. See, I was just looking at the problem and also looking at the idea with which you have introduced this maritime law, particularly from Odisha. I don't think that any other university in India would have ventured, because this is a very, very, very difficult area and very, very sensitive area also. I said sensitive and a bit of sensational also, because I'm just going to share only one thing and I'll end it in 5 minutes. Look at the way the maritime law has shaped in the Italian Marines case in India. It was a case where all of you will know, there's a tragedy. I said tragedy in the sense, the 2 Indians lost their lives because an Italian Marines fired at them, and the ship was arrested, brought to the shore of India at Kochi. According to the Indian Penal Code, the Marines were charge-sheeted. Ship was released after a couple of months, and the investigation was transferred to a special investigating agency in India from the local police, National Investigating Agency. A special court also was set up, and the Marines were detained in India, and thanks to the intervention of the Supreme Court, they were permitted to go to, and I too happened to be on the bench a couple of occasions hearing those matters. I can speak about it now because it has almost reached a logical end. So there was nothing wrong, and it's no more subjudice. I can speak that. Now, see, look at the turn it has taken, or the twist it has taken. the Italian government of Italy, the Italian government took up the matter under the UN Convention and asked for an international arbitration on that. Though India was hesitant, since the criminal law in India has already proceeded quite far. But finally, it had to give it because it is also a signatory to the convention. So there was an international arbitration, and look at the way the arbitral tribunal has taken the twist. They have now ruled that since the ship was within 15 nautical, beyond 15 nautical miles, yes. Now the jurisdiction, as far as criminal prosecution is concerned, is with the country who owns the ship, right? That's number one. Number two, it has been directed that all the prosecutions that have started in India, all those papers will be transferred to Italy. There is also passing reference as to the defense of the Italian Marines, because their defense has always been that they suspected the piracy and they had to fire on self-defense. That has always been their defense. There's a reference in that award on this defense as well. And the most interesting part of it is, since there was also an aspect of damage in the damages in the Moot. Now the tribunal has also fixed a compensation payable to the victims, 4 crores each to the victims, and a couple of crores to the owner of the boat. So as far as India is concerned, the picture is very clear now. What's going to be the outcome of and there is, of course, the tribunal has said the whole prosecution will be continued. It will be investigated afresh by the under the Italian laws, by the Italian investigating agency, and the prosecution will take place there now. All records are going to be transferred there. Picture is almost clear because they have taken their defense now. Anyhow, as far as Indian government is concerned, or rather as far as India is concerned, as far as victims are concerned, now a compensation, a fair and reasonable amount of compensation has been fixed on account of the loss that was suffered by the family of those poor fishermen, and of course the boat owner. That part is there, and the investigation are going to continue in Italy. See, look at the twist this case took after a couple of years of a very sensational prosecution in India. It has been a very sensational case in India, as Mr. Puneet and Abda would also know, because it was a case where the Marines gave an undertaking with the ambassador of Italy in the Supreme Court, also saying that as a guarantor, saying that they will come back after vacation. But the moment they reached there, they said, no, we are under a law of Italy, we are not going to come back. But the Supreme Court of India, yes, it is supreme in India. Yes, it's so that the undertaking that was given by the ambassador to the Italy in India says, and finally they came back. They surrendered, submitted to the jurisdiction, and of course the Supreme Court and the government of India was also generous enough to see the writings on the one. They were permitted to go back. Now they are in Italy only, with the condition that as and when required, and if required, they will have to surrender back in India. I don't think it will be required now because the whole prosecution is going to be in Italy only. I just refer to this aspect because, see, these are the new dimensions of maritime law taking place. Because this whole case, I'm sure the professors would be taking up next year probably, because now this is only going to have an end because the Supreme Court has to endorse it now. Probably next year a case of this dimension or this type would also come for the noting. This is as deep as the ocean, this maritime law. It can always change, like the nature of the sea can always change. You can't predict when it is going to be rough, when it's going to be smooth, when it's going to be sailing quite smoothly as well. So the law is also constantly changing. So, and also this has become a very, very important branch in the globally in the trade and commerce sector as well. The type of transport, and look at the new dimension you may have, and I'm sure quite a few cases will be coming up because of that Suez Canal issue now. Fortunately, beyond all our expectations, it has been cleared now, and the traffic is through now. But for the 1 week, all of us were really stuck as what is going to happen to the international trade and commerce, and look at the millions of crores of damages suffered by the several countries on account of this time. So all these are going to be new dimensions, new litigations for the lawyers and the arbitrators, I'm quite sure, and the tribunals and the arbitrating agencies also. So my dear Professor Yogesh from the National University of Orissa, this is the only university in India, in collaboration with the science, and also Samida and Pune have taken up this initiative to have this specific subject, which is of a very national, international importance, and to inculcate in the minds of the young lawyers, the scope to think globally and also to work globally. All the best to you. Hearty congratulations. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing us with your inspiring words. I would now request Mr. Puneet Oza to address us.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Justice Kurian. It is an amazing honor to be here, and it's also an amazing honor for SCMA to be involved with an event like this. I would just like to thank the organizers and the university, as well as Mr. Amita Majumdar of Bose and Mitra. And most importantly, the 3 professors from Swansea University. I must really acknowledge that it was a fantastic case. And I must say, as a commercial shipping practitioner, I also am looking for answers with cases like this that I've seen in my real life. So it is really amazing, and it was very well organized. So I must say congratulations on that. The quality of the participants was exemplary, and I was so impressed with the way they actually went about, in a very tough case, very tough situation, arguing their way. I was really impressed with that. On the SCMA side, I've been with the SCMA for just over a year now, and since I walked in, I actually introduced a complimentary student membership for all global students studying maritime law or trade-related courses. So I would request both NLUO as well as Swansea University to, get their students to take advantage of this, because we would love to have connections with younger students as quickly as we can, and really push out the knowledge as much as we can. And these events are very much a part of that. I would just like to again feel very happy to be a part of this. And I would just like to say I'm so happy that I'm not one of the participants arguing in front of these arbitrators, because they were really tough on the participants. But that's how it is in real life. So I think it's a fantastic experience that the students are getting through an event like this. And I just wanted to thank you again for inviting me to be a part of this event and the panel of judges. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now request Ms. Nikita Katta Joshi to address us.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to check. A warm welcome to everyone here. I would like to start by saying that I'm really very elated to be a part of the valedictory ceremony of the 8th IMAM 2021 for a very special reason. That is, my association with the Moot Society and with IMAM dates back to the first version of Bose. So as a student member of the university, I was a part of the first Moot Society of the university. As a student volunteer, I was also a part of the first IMAM that was conducted in the year 2014. Now, if I think of it in retrospect, I was very doubtful about the success of IMAM ever since its first edition, because I thought, with my limited knowledge of maritime law, as a student, I thought it was not a very wise decision to have a moot court on such a super niche area. So I would often think that are there enough legal issues that can come up in the field of maritime law that we can keep students moot about it for years to come? And today, when we are here with the 8th edition, I'm both shocked and surprised to see that yes, there are indeed various or a variety of legal issues that are there in the field of maritime law, and the 8th edition is standing tall amongst all. Uh, I would like to congratulate all the participants for making it to the Moot. There's a rhetoric that winning or losing does not really matter. What matters is participation. But I think this rhetoric makes all the more sense in these testing times of the pandemic. So, with the pandemic going on, the very fact that the students could make their way through moot court competition, beating all challenges and making it happen or making it possible on a virtual platform, we should really congratulate each and every participant for their thorough participation. I would just conclude by saying if there's anyone who deserves all the appreciation, I think it is Yash, Rose, and the team that is led by them. So I would congratulate the Moot Society of NLU Odisha for doing a splendid performance. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Mr. Yashash Chandra Devrakonda, our convener of the Moot Society at National Law University, to have the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sonia. Good evening and a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries present. The last 4 days has witnessed one of the most riveting rounds and intense competition. Many months ago, I still recall approaching Dr. Lelodas to prepare the case study for us. And then he's introduced us to Professor Boggin and Professor Tattenborn. A journey that has begun back then, braving this new virtual world, has now come to this. The 4-month stint with the case study for the participants is a testament to IMAM delivering on its promise of making mooting an intellectually stimulating exercise. The 8th edition has stood out in redefining contours of international participation and presence. With international participation steadily increasing, our alliances with our neighbors, Singapore and Malaysia, has put us in a good stead in the Asian continent. Our partners from the United Kingdom have, of course, further bolstered our efforts to reach out to wider audiences. We also had on board Informa Law with us, whose rich research database content has assisted our participants in their preparations. And of course, our constants through the years, Bose and Mitra and Company, the title sponsors of the Moot, under the able leadership of Mr. Amitava Majumdar. Sir, always a pleasure to be associated with you. The silver lining in these testing times is the adoption of newer technologies. What we have witnessed in this edition of IMAM was mooting beyond just video conferencing. Yatli, as a platform tailor-made for moots, has offered us an interface bringing us a step closer to a virtual moot experience. As we adapt ourselves to fit in this virtual world, where we are going to see a lot more of these. The 8th edition of IMAM is dearer to us since we relatively had fewer months for its preparation. The 7th edition only took place last August. And unperturbed by the pandemic, the team that has made the second virtual edition of IMAM possible, led by Professor Dr. Yogesh Pratap Singh, is the harbinger for its success. With constant guidance and support from Ms. Ilakya and Ms. Nikita, the faculty advisors of the Moot Society, we have left no stone unturned to make this event a grand success. A team is only as good as its weakest member, and if the last 4 days were any evidence, I am proud to say that there were none. To all the members of the Moot Society and volunteers of the core committee who have worked behind the screens for days together, I am incredibly proud of you. We all are. You have made this event happen. Thank you, Honorable Retired Justice Kurian Joseph, sir, for taking time out of your schedule for gracing your presence. Thank you, Swansea, for an invigorating case study. I also thank all the judges who have taken time out of their busy schedule to be a part of our panel in the last 4 days. Thanks to all the participants who have been a part of this. Although there's only one winner, everyone learns. On behalf of the organizing committee, I hope you had a pleasant learning experience. Thank you, one and all. It was a pleasure to be a part of this endeavor.
Thank you, Yashish Chandra. With this, we come to the most awaited moment of the event, that is the result declaration. Starting with the award of Best Written Submission, I request Professor Andrew Tatibon to announce the winners of the Best Written Submission.
Well, do I merely announce the number of the team? Do you wish me merely to announce the number of the team that won?
Andrew, I think on your right-hand side, you'll see the name which has come up for you to...
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a moment.
So you can announce the name.
I'm afraid my computer, I think, has let me down, and I think probably the announcement will have to be made by Professor Bourne, who I suspect has a better piece of equipment. I'm sorry about that.
I request Professor Simon.
Well, where do I find this information? Now, let's have a look, because I can't see a chat box or anything.
Yes, sir. The name is in the chat box.
Top right. Simon, if you look on the top right corner, there is an open chat box. Is it open chat box? You click on it, and then the chat opens up. There must be 3 boxes next to each other.
And there's an
open.
Yeah, okay, that's it. It's not doing it. It's up at the top, isn't it? And it's 3 boxes, and it's got 14 in it. And I click on it.
That's the number of participants.
I'm afraid it won't open for me.
Okay. Shall I say that then?
Computer is defeated 2 of us from Swansea.
Yep. That's why I'm here, I suppose.
Right. Dr. George, you're on.
So the winner is Rajiv Gandhi, National University of Law, Punjab. Well done, guys. Well done. Well done.
Congratulations to Rajiv Gandhi, National University of Law, Punjab. I would now request Mr. Puneet Oza to announce the winner of the Best Speaker Award.
So the Best Speaker Award goes to Raj Rishi from School of Law, Christ University. Congratulations, Raj. Congratulations.
I would now request our chief guest, Justice Kurian Joseph, to announce the winner of this edition of IMAM.
Yeah, probably I have the same difficulty of Professor Simon. I'm not able to see the name of the winner. Somebody will have to help me. Is there in the chat box?
Yes, sir. It's there on the chat box of the auditorium.
Yogesh, sir, maybe you could send him a text message of the university if the chat box is visible.
Probably just send me a text message in the WhatsApp. I'll announce it.
I'll just do.
We have support systems now, so.
I think it's fine, sir. We've unintentionally created suspense, but.
Oh, it's fine.
Yes, the winner is both chat box and this WhatsApp, both have helped me now. Winner is Government Law College, Mumbai. Happy congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm
Congratulations.
doubly happy because it has come from the Government Law College, Mumbai. Yeah.
A very hearty congratulations to the Government of College Mumbai to be adjourned as the winning team of the 8th NLUO Bose Mitra IMAM 2021. I would now request Mr. Amitava Majumdar to officially announce the runner-ups for this edition of IMAM.
I'd like to congratulate ILS Law College Pune for being the runner-up for this IMAM. Well done.
Thank you to all the members for joining us, and a hearty congratulations to all the awardees as well as the participants who were the part of this edition. We thank everyone who helped us to make this edition a successful event, and we hope to meet you next year soon. Till then, we bid an adieu.
A special thank to the Moot Society.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yash Chandra and the team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy
Well done,
congratulations to the society.
Well
yes.
done. Good job.
Very well done. Very well done. And congrats to everybody. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, God bless. Stay safe.
Have a good evening,
Thank
guys.
you, Milan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.